So let's pretend all the work we've done on our boards has been approved, and we've recombined it into the original full board, and we've renamed all our scenes and panels, and we're ready to finally hand it off to production to start shooting or animating. Well, there are a couple of other export options we have that could make things a little easier for production. We won't go into full detail for all of these options, since they can be really specific to a particular pipeline. But I want to make sure that you know that these are available. The first one is export layout. Remember early in the course we talked about how the next step after storyboards but before animation is layout? Well, this option is meant to provide full-sized reference images for the layout artist to use. This is basically like exporting the panels of the storyboard, but as full resolution images. You have the option to expand the render area so that there's some buffer outside the actual border of the camera. And you can scale up the image so that the area within the smallest camera frame of a shot with a camera move is the full base image size. And you can also export a separate file for each layer on each panel. Though if you use PSD as the image file format, it will preserve the layer structure for each panel anyway. And you can also include the camera frames on the image for reference. Next, if your project is going to be animated using one of the Toon Boom animation programs, like Toon Boom Harmony, you should definitely consider using the Export to Toon Boom option. This will take each shot from the board and create an actual animation project file from it. You specify the version of Harmony you intend to use, or if you want, you can export for the older Animate and Animate Pro too. Then you can choose either render the animatic, meaning it will bring it into the Harmony project as a series of rendered bitmap images, or you can choose original scene and it will create a project for each shot with all the layers, camera movement and sound, and timing already set up like you have them in the storyboard. That makes a great jumping off point for the animator. In either case, you have options for export range, and you can choose how to handle sound clips on the Sound tab. You can either copy over the same sound files from the Storyboard Pro project to the Harmony project, or you can have it make new sound files of just the portion of the clips that are used in the specific shot, or you can have it mix down all the sound clips that are part of that shot into one so that the Harmony file will just have the one sound file. And if you do the rendered animatic option, you have the same burn-in and camera grid options we looked at with the movie export. Next, let's look at exporting an EDL, AFF, or XML file. These different formats are for importing into other video editing programs like Final Cut, Premiere, or Avid. What this will do is export video files of all your panels and at least one of the 3 edit list formats that store the timing information. That lets you import and recreate the timing of the animatic in a regular video editor. This is useful if you're going to be assembling the finished animation or live action footage in that editor, because it gives you a skeleton of the final edit that you just need to update with finished versions of the shots as they're completed. Lastly, let's look at export to FBX. This is good for if you're working in a 3D pipeline. This will export the animatic as an FBX file that can be imported into a 3D program, and it will display all your images timed out on the timeline to use as reference for the 3D animation. The images will be displayed as textures on planes, so you may want to flatten your layers in Storyboard Pro so that the 3D project doesn't get complicated with lots of unnecessary files. So that's it. We've finished with our part of the process, and we've finished our lessons on Storyboard Pro. If there's some detail that didn't get covered, or if you have difficulty with a Storyboard Pro feature, the place you want to go is docs.toonboom.com, then choose your version of Storyboard Pro, and do your search here. You'll have much better luck finding what you want here instead of just Googling. That's also the end of our course. So let's talk about the next steps on your storyboarding journey. We'll do that in the next video. I'll see you there.